right, then I believe too. And with that, there's only one thing left to say. Let's rev it up!
Alright, welcome back. Okay, I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about. I'll have the replay in the background so you guys check that out. To go back and forth from me talking, and then I'll have that as entertainment as well if you want to focus on either or. But yeah, I just want to talk about this because I think it's an important topic, because sometimes this is the reason why some people get pushed away of playing a deck, and that's when you hear people complaining about the style of the deck, how long it takes, the whole strategy of it, you get a lot of grief from it. If some of you experience this, I'm well aware of it because I myself experienced it. But you have to kind of boil it down and break it down of what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, and when someone's just an opinion, and opinions are just opinions. You gotta learn to comprehend that with it, whether it's in this game or just in life in general. But on this case, I'm talking about the game, because you're going to be you're gonna get a lot of grief of playing the deck because it takes too long. It seems really gimmicky. It seems really, but it's a game. It's meant to be. You're meant to develop a strategy, a strategy different from what you think works. And of course, there's competitive scenes. There's casual scenes. There's the big tournaments, little tournaments, and you stick with what you feel comfortable with. You stick with what you enjoy playing. But a lot of times you have to learn and understand when something's right and when something's not right. Because, okay, basic example. I mentioned this in my other video. If some of you have watched it, I talk about how if someone's rushing you, if you're playing this deck and someone's rushing you, something that I've developed over time is you have to make sure you can practice and try to get as many combos, like memorize them as fast as you can, so you can do them as fast as you can and as quickly as you can. So then the time factor won't be that much of an issue. But then you also gotta stop and think, and like, okay, there's 40-minute rounds. There's 40-minute rounds, right? Depending on how your tournaments are. Like normally they're 40-minute rounds. So what you do is you break it down. You give them 20 minutes, and you give yourself 20 minutes. And normally your turns, I think I'm pretty good with the deck, so I think I would average around 5 to 7 minutes a turn. And if I go if I go a little bit over that, it's nearly like 8 to 9 minutes. So that gives me 1 minute. So that means it doesn't really matter. It's either they're gonna break my board or they're not. Because then, if they don't manage to break my board, the next turn it's gonna take less than a minute. It's gonna take less than a minute for me to win the game next turn. So that's one half of the time limit that is mine. Because if you want to be fair, 20-20, that's where it is. Like your 20 and my 20. And most of the time, top tier decks don't take long. The only reason I see is them taking long is debating on whether summoning their one play and if it gets striked or not. And that's a bit hypocritical. When combo decks like this, they actually have to think and see all these different routes of certain outcomes. It's the same thing as top tier decks, except it's not really a combo deck, because the way I broke down top tier decks is okay. There's heavy trap decks, which is anti-meta, like just straight up heavy trap, not much, doesn't require thinking. And then there's aggressive decks. Aggressive decks that are just like really combo oriented and they're just insane. And I think top tiers are in the middle, where they can do a bit of both, and that's what makes it balanced. And I think that in my opinion, that's how I broke it down. That okay, you can have a little bit of both, but the combo deck, which is Dark Synchro, which is where it's categorized, you have to think of different sequences. You gotta think of multiple outcomes, and you're all under pressure because you're in a time limit. You're actually in a tournament. If you lose, it matters because you're actually trying to win a prize. So you have all this pressure upon you, and then especially if people start coming and watching your game because their games are finished, it makes it even worse because it gives you even more pressure because people are watching you. So that's like, oh damn, like okay, then you gotta refocus, and that's another like what 30 seconds just to try to refocus, and then see what you're trying to do. But you have to learn to overcome that and just be like, okay, I know what I need to do. I have to do this and this and this. But sometimes I just don't understand how the people that complain about it, they're playing a pretty linear deck, and they probably take as long as you do, but their options are not really. There's not many options you can do. It's just debating on whether to summon or not, or whether to activate something or not, or whether to hold something or not. It's not really anything. I mean, of course, you gotta give credit. It's a mind game as well. So majority of the time, they spend their time limit as using mind games, because that's what top tier decks do. They tend to have a lot of mind games and buffs and those type of things. Whereas with combo decks, like in this case Dark Synchro, you have to actually think and go through sequences, and you're actually trying to develop this outcome that you're hoping that it gets resolved. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out, because a lot of you get driven away from these decks because a lot of people just give you like they just like oh, what the hell, man, I don't play that deck. But just if you enjoy playing the deck, if you enjoy it, that's fine. That's all that matters. You just gotta keep playing it. And if it turns into a fist fight, then you gotta go turn into a fist fight. No, I'm kidding. You don't want to do that. No, but like just enjoy what you do, because if like this is something that I can't stress enough, that I've always mentioned, is if your first thought is someone else's thought about you, you're losing already. So just do what you want to do, and then eventually you just feel better. You feel liberated. You'll see what I mean. Like, it's hard to acquire that, because there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance is just you can pull it at will. Confidence is accumulated, so it's through time, through experience. So just keep like in this scenario, I'm trying to influence you guys to, like, if you enjoy this, go ahead and play it. Don't, because like me as me being comfortable and confident of how I am, that type of stuff doesn't really bother me. But I know that there's other people out there that it kind of does bother them, because I mean they're still learning, they're still developing. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover. I just wanted to cover that, because just in case you feel like, oh man, that's kind of why I'm hesitant playing the deck. It's because of that type of stuff. Just don't. If you enjoy it, just play it. I mean, you don't always gotta keep justifying yourself. If you like something, you like something. That's it. Plain and simple. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed the combo video. I didn't really commentate on it, but I hope you guys kind of see an idea of what. See the Omega? Like, the Omega is pretty cool. Like it helps with that cycle thing. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. That's gonna be it. It wasn't too long, but yeah, I gotta do another Gofu. I gotta do a Gofu, just a plain basic Gofu Armageddon Knight, because I think some of you need a little bit help with that. So that's why I'm here, to help you guys out understand this deck. As long as this deck is playable, I'll try to do my best with it. But that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give a like, as you in the past 2 videos you guys have. Thank you, I really appreciate it. But that's just gonna be it. Thank you for watching.